Alright, so today's video is going to be a bit of different I haven't done in a while. It's about spiritual warfare and preparing for the big fight. As you can tell, the weather once again is absolutely strange in Canada. It is warm, and the snow that was snowing in the previous video is all but gone, and it is a nice day and it's been warm lately, so weird spring weather. Anyways, preparing for the big battle. Okay, so usually before a breakthrough, as I've alluded in previous video about breakthroughs, the enemy is always preparing a big attack. Okay, there's always a massive assault coming that if you don't prepare, it will usually knock you over or smash you against the craggy shores of, just despair and stuff, and you can wreck your ship, as it were. So, how can you prepare for it? Well, you pick your battles, okay? The enemy's going to send, what I find is, before the big attack, he's going to send small attacks, probing ones. He's going to attack your confidence, or he's going to, maybe you're on a good streak, he's going to start attacking that, and maybe you're just really just getting close to God, and you're just really advancing the kingdom. You're going to notice that the more you move ahead for God, the greater the resistance. But he does probing attacks to try and weaken you and make you waste your energy and your spiritual gifts on the tiny fights, the ones that don't mean nothing. And so you drain yourself. And then when it comes to the big fight that he has, you get KO'd because your armor's torn and you're exhausted. And then he comes with a great big attack that just makes most people fold and they crumple like a piece of paper in the wind. A lot of people do. Or think of a car that hits a wall at a high rate of speed and crumples up. That's what happens. You can be the crumpled car. So, as you walk through this spiritual fight, you have to, as the kings of old, pick your battles. They didn't just jump into a fight with whoever, whenever they wanted, willy-nilly. They evaluated it. They said, if I fight, is there a benefit? Is there something to gain from doing this fight? If I engage in the enemy, say he's really annoying, right? He's being constant little attacks, chipping away at you. And you have to decide, am I going to waste my resources and energy and time on this small one, or will you see it for what it is? A ploy and an attack designed to weaken you for the big one comes. Because God will bless you and you will have a breakthrough, but also the enemy, he doesn't want you to have a breakthrough. He doesn't want you to have a blessing in your life. You may be over, say, for example, a toxic relationship, okay? Say you left a bad relationship, okay? And you might just start something, new with this new person, okay? And it could be going really good. And you two could be, moving forward for God, and you can just feel like maybe this is the one, And what happens? If you don't get rid of those feelings, the enemy's like, no, I'm not going to make this guy happy. They're not going to have a happy ending or whatever. He said, no. I said, here comes the old one, your ex, they call him, but it's the older one comes in. Your old fling. He starts messaging you or just pops it out of nowhere and says, hey, how about a second chance? And see, the enemy will use that to pull you away from current relationship. And if you haven't healed and done your, discipline and taking care of that, you're going to fall into that trap. And that's usually the big punch. And it usually ends up ruining your relationship. Because a lot of men, this is women too, they haven't fully healed before they jump into their next relationship, and they get attacked because the enemy knows your weakness. He studies you. Demons and Satan, all right, have nothing better to do pretty much than just study you. Okay, he's got demons in the spiritual war. He's got scouts. Okay, and these scouts are designed to follow you, your every move, what you do, and they watch you. They evaluate you, and they find your weaknesses, and they report back. And then he's like, okay, so I know, say you have a lust problem. He will lead you with little breadcrumbs, right? And maybe just harmless pictures here and there, you might think, and on your social feeds, and, you know, maybe videos and stuff. And then before you know it, you're scrolling, and it's not instant, okay? He doesn't just throw it at you instantly. Like I said, he probes and chips away at your defenses. You see, they just need a crack when you leave that door open. Just a crack. And they can get in. And so that's what he does. He chips away at the defense. He keeps adding little things in front of you. Little things, a little bit here, a little bit there. And if you're not alert, attentive, on guard, you're going to fall for these little tiny tidbits. He's going to weaken you. And weaken. And weaken. You won't notice it because it's gradual. It's slow. He's smart. He's not stupid. He's very intelligent. He chips away. Like, think of a medieval castle. They would have engineers. Sometimes they would tunnel under. And they would tunnel under the castle, and they would chip away. Chip away at the very bottom of it. And they wouldn't know because they're tunneled down. And they would chip away at that wall. Chip, chip, chip. And eventually, that wall would come down. And then boom, they were in the castle. So that's what he does. He chips away at your defenses. And then before you know it, you might say, oh, I'm never going to go to, corn or this lust. And then before you know it, boom, you fall into it. Look, there's a deer passing on the road a few days ago. There's a track. I see him. You see the trail? Deer sign. That means he was walking down the edge of the road. Anyways, as I was saying, he will weaken you, and then when he does, it'll be the big slip up. You might click on that video you said you wouldn't. Before you know it, you're on a binge for most guys, even girls. Women, you'll get into binge, and it'll be 2, sometimes 3 days, and you're like, oh no, what did I do? And that's the massive attack. You didn't see it coming because there's little signs. But if you're not paying attention to those signs, being on alert, as it says, we are the watchmen on the wall. That's what we have to do. We have to be ever watchful, because the enemy is always probing. It says he is a roaring lion seeking whom he can devour. And he won't attack you right away. Like, he won't just say, oh, go watch, that video. He won't just say that. He'll chip away with a few little pictures here and there. And he's patient. He'll chip away, and then bam. It's usually when you get hit. And that's just in the spiritual war. And the more you are able to pick up on these, you'll be able to better prepare and protect yourself, be ready to intercept. So that's, I guess, for today's video and preparing for the big assault. Because he usually plans one big attack and he just takes you out, which he does, because I've been in the spiritual warfare and fighting him for quite a bit now, so I'm on to his tricks, and that's why I'm sharing them with you. I might go back to making more of these videos, just because they seem like we have to keep stepping up our defenses, but we also got to keep stepping up our attacks. So, leave the video off here. This has been A Voice in the Wilderness, soldier, bond servant of Christ, signing off. Whenever you see this, have a blessed day or night. And stay safe in these dark and crazy times. And from a beautiful evening here in Canada, I will see you in the next one.